So this is literally YOLOPARK Bumblebee that literally costs $30. And yes, I'm serious. Who also literally appeared in Rise of the Beast, where he literally died in the first act and then was literally resurrected in the third act, which was the most anticlimactic ever. And the spoilers was literally in the trailer. I don't care what you say and that people should actually watch the movie. Doesn't matter. The fact that it has 5 writers and they couldn't write a cohesive story, it's the reason why the film failed. Plus it literally is a rehash of the Dark of the Moon. I mean, that film, Rise of the Beast, is literally Dark of the Moon but toned down. You know, a MacGuffin that literally transport from time and space and literally transport a giant planet to Earth, and that the enemy wants it. And it literally beats the same rhythm as the other films. It's literally that, but yeah. While I literally still enjoy the film, you cannot ignore the fact that they literally is a rehash of other films, just pretty much crammed into a 2-hour film, and literally, how the hell is that film even $200 million in budget? But is this figure even worth it? Of course it's worth it. But before we continue on, make sure that you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You have no other choice. And of course you can also get it at Shozy Store and Gundam It. Of course, consider this is a model kit, which means you literally have to build it and paint it, which the painting is optional. But of course you can do it if you want to. But this model kit is a little bit special, considering instead of just clipping out the parts just to assemble, it literally comes with a tray where it is already pre-assembled, but you have to assemble it like a Bionicle, you know, something like this. But yeah, it's actually really simple, and of course the details are very well done, and of course, let's just say that while some of them kind of needs a little bit more paint, for $30, yeah, this is wow. This is even better than the mainline or Studio Series one for sure. I mean, if we take a look at the head sculpt, which it is the same beat as the Bayverse of Bumblebee, which hasn't changed that much, considering the face is literally, well, the same, with some minor changes of detail. And of course the original was literally just blue, but I added a little bit of paint just to give him a little bit more of shine. And of course it is simplified, but of course it has more detail, no matter if it's cost $30. And of course this is non-transformable, which a lot of you will cry about it, but for me, I don't mind it because I'm literally gonna display it in my shelf. So and of course, even if it's transformable, I mean, he literally did not appear that much, so does it really matter? Of course it matters, but for me, I just wanted it. I mean, transformable or non-transformable, doesn't matter. If the figure is good, it's good. And of course, I will say the detail looks immaculate. I mean, I just cannot overstate my welcome to say that this is actually quite outstanding model kit. And of course the details, and of course the feet looks accurate. Everything looks kind of accurate, but also stylized just to be more poseable. I mean, he literally standing on his toe, and he's still standing. How incredible is that? Now of course there are some minor flaws, which is of course the door is kind of a little bit fragile when you try to assemble or disassemble, but you gotta be careful. Maybe use hairdryer just to heat up a little bit, but yeah, for something that's just a model kit, it is really good, I must say. And of course the articulation is really simple, with just double ball joint at the head and the neck, which you get so much motion of him. Can look up, down, side to side. And of course the shoulders have a ball joint here, which does feel like a ball joint, and of course can have a little bit butterfly joint. His titties move, which is on the ball joint. These panels have a hinge, which moves up and down, out the side, and of course 360. Can have a bicep, a double jointed elbows, and of course ball joint at the hands, and of course forearm swivel, ball joint at the torso, and swivel there, so you can literally get an ab crunch and knock him back. Feet go forward and backwards nicely, and of course it's a wonderful spread, and these panels can also move out just to get a little bit more neat poses, and of course it doesn't hinder it. And of course it has a double jointed knee, which is just a single knee that moves a little bit more. And of course he has an up, down, swivel, and a pivot, and of course these will move. And if you want a little bit more of a pivot, you can literally, if you're careful about it, you can get, well, also be careful when you also disassemble it, because it can have a risk of breakage. Don't know, but yeah, you don't force it that much. But yeah, you can't get that much of a pivot. But if you also want a little bit more, you can take off this piece and boom, and then just plug it whatever you want. But yeah, you can get a lot of possibility with this thing. And of course his doors is on a swivel, and these tires rotate and such. Now, I'm not saying this is a posable model kit, but it is very posable. And of course I forgot about the antennas, which also are on a hinge, which he kind of looks adorable when he expresses them. Like he said, happy or surprised, and that's it. And of course for accessories, which he actually comes with just a few. And if I just move forward the camera, he only comes with a pair of relaxed hands, and of course a pair of opened stop hands, which he doesn't come with a gun hand, but of course if you want to swap them, it is pretty simple. It's just a ball joint, and then just plug it in like so, boom, and of course the other, which is just boom, and there you go. He now is expression. Why am I saying? Now he has a lot of expression with these hands. Of course I do wish he came with more, or at least a gun, but to be honest, I do not even care about the gun at this point. It is still pretty stupid. And of course, considering he just pretty much died in the first act and just appeared later on, I don't pretty much care about it. But of course, if you want a gun, you can literally get the 301, which of course is gonna be pricey. But for me, I don't pretty mind it with no gun. I mean, he still can kick ass without any gun. And of course, that's all I had to say about that. As for size comparison, here we have him next to RC, which honestly, he scales pretty well with RC. So there's that. And of course, here's another size comparison with Hayatoi's Godzilla. And of course, last but not least, which I'm gonna... here we have the big boy himself, the Big Papa. Here we have him next to the YOLOPARK Optimus Prime from the movie Bumblebee. Hold on. Excuse me. Now we'll say this is a nice scale. Sure, he is a little bit bigger than Bumblebee, but or a little bit too big. But but let's be honest, Optimus Prime has always been bigger than Bumblebee, so this actually works for me. But of course, if you want to have a little bit more in scale, you can have the YOLOPARK Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, which also costs $30 and is a little bit easier to assemble, but not as impressive as this Bumblebee Optimus Prime, which is the superior Optimus Prime in my opinion. Which honestly, it's up to you if you want to get this or not. Oh yeah, I forgot about the review. Like, god damn it! Oh, well, why does it always happen to Bumblebee? I'm only doing this because I just want to make sure that this video is not for children under the age of 13. So Bumblebee is gonna suffer.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
And of course, for some Final Thoughts, of course this guy is literally worth it. I mean, for $30, you're literally getting a goddamn articulated model kit that's literally high quality and really nice to assemble. Sure, he may not transform, which if you are not liking non-transformable figures and things should be transformable, they get the Studio Series. Yeah, it is literally an option. But of course, the Studio Series is gonna be, well, a little bit more pricier than the the YOLOPARK one, and considering how YOLOPARK is literally killing it with its releases, I'm pretty sure that they are literally gonna beat the competition with Studio Series, since, well, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the Studio Series releases have been almost complete crap. But of course, with the United one, it kind of gave me a little bit sparkle with the upcoming releases with Animated, and of course with Tiger Hawk, which he looks amazing, but Windbane looks a little bit disappointing, not gonna lie. But of course, it is up to you if you want to get the market. It's optional, of course. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, don't. I mean, but for $30, he is a nice figure to your collection. But also stay tuned for my other ship posted videos I'm literally gonna release here by now.